Divine ones, ever notice how folks act strange after you call something out, and it actually happens? That isn't a coincidence. That's your power. Why are people suddenly testing your every word, as if your intuition is some magic crystal ball they can control? Why are they watching you like you're holding secrets from heaven? There was a divine sister I knew, quiet, humble, never seeking attention. One day she casually mentioned in a conversation that friend you're trusting, they are not who they claim to be. No drama, just a nudge. A week later, betrayal exploded like fireworks. Everyone turned their heads and whispered, "How did she know?" Suddenly, she wasn't just a friend anymore. She was that intuitive girl, the one they started observing, testing, fearing. They wanted to measure her intuition like it was a science project, but what they didn't realize was it was divine. Divines, the moment your intuition proved accurate, you became a phenomenon. You stopped being just a person and started being a revelation. In this video, we're diving deep into why folks are low-key terrified of your spiritual gift, why they're testing your discernment like it's under a microscope, and how to handle it all like the divine powerhouse you are. As Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." But for you, Divine One, your light is the place where the truth enters others. Stay with me till the very end, Divines, because I promise you, what you're going to learn in this video will not only validate your gift, but awaken something even deeper inside you. You've been chosen. Now let's talk about why they can't stop testing that. Point 1, your accuracy exposed their lies. You know what really unsettles people more than thunder shaking the windows or lightning splitting the sky? A calm soul who saw the storm long before the clouds even formed. That's you, Divine One. That stillness, that quiet clarity, you're not just spiritually tuned in, you're spiritually surgical. You cut through illusions with that scalpel of intuition, and oh, it stings those who thrive in deception. Most people live in carefully constructed illusions. They tell half-truths, wear masks, and perform for approval. But when someone like you walks into the room, grounded, still, and seeing everything without saying much, it's like flipping on the fluorescent lights in a room full of secrets. That's unsettling. Not because you're loud, but because you're accurate. You don't need receipts. You are the receipt. Science backs this up too. Research in cognitive neuroscience shows that intuition is a real function of the brain. It's the result of our subconscious quickly processing patterns, emotional cues, and stored knowledge. But when you do it, it looks like magic. And people hate when they can't explain what they don't understand. So they label you weird, paranoid, or dramatic. Why? Because it's easier than facing the truth you quietly pointed out. But here's the twist. They start to test you, subtly at first. A misleading comment here, a manipulative move there. They want to know if your insight was just lucky timing or if you're really plugged into something higher. And once you see through the test too, that's when the fear sets in, not panic, but reverence. Because now they know you're not the kind of person who can be fooled, manipulated, or emotionally hijacked. They won't say it out loud, oh no. They'll try to regain control by mocking you, pretending they're unbothered or ghosting you altogether, but deep down they know they were seen, spiritually X-rayed. That's why your presence unsettles them, because you reveal what they hide. So stay calm, stay sharp. Your peace is your power, and your intuition is the divine whisper that reminds the world truth doesn't shout, it stares. And when it does, it shakes things more than any storm ever could. Point 2. People are drawn to the light, but they also fear it. Here's the paradox of the divine. Everyone says they crave the light until it exposes their shadows. See, people love the idea of clarity, of truth, of good vibes only. But when that truth starts touching nerves, peeling back layers, and revealing things they've worked hard to hide, even from themselves, they panic. And in that moment, your presence becomes a mirror they can't escape. That brightness they claim to admire. That radiant energy that makes rooms shift and people act differently, that's you. Your intuition isn't just a gut feeling, it's a finely tuned spiritual radar. A lantern in a room most people prefer to keep dim. According to psychological research, intuition is your brain processing patterns and experiences faster than conscious reasoning. But when you're spiritually awakened, your intuition becomes more than science. It becomes sacred. You see people, really see them, their masks, their fears, their motives, their energy. And that kind of clarity can be terrifying, for them, not for you. Divines, understand this. You were never wired to blend in. You were born to awaken, to disrupt, to shake the foundation of comfort zones. So when people say you're too intense or why are you always analyzing everything, what they really mean is, you're reading me and it's uncomfortable. You've become fluent in the unspoken, and while some admire it, many resent it because it means their usual games won't work on you. They'll challenge you, test you, even mock your insight, all in hopes that you'll trip up, so they can relax back into the illusion that their masks are still working. But the joke's on them. The more they try to disprove your intuition, the more they validate it. Every test is just more confirmation that your light is untouchable. Here's your divine reminder. Don't dim that light. Don't shrink for their comfort. Don't question your clarity. Instead, shine harder. The world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs more souls brave enough to stand in their truth, even when that truth exposes what others would rather keep buried. You weren't sent here to be liked. You were sent here to wake people up. Keep shining, divine. The shadows were never your home anyway. Point 3. You're breaking generational patterns without trying. When your intuition becomes a guiding force in your life, you start seeing things that others can't. You become the one who notices the subtle shifts, the hidden truths, and the cycles that have been repeated for generations, unnoticed by those around you. You begin to recognize patterns in your family's behavior, decisions, and habits that no one else has dared to challenge or question. It's as if your spirit has awakened to a higher level of awareness, and you're the first one to say, something's not right here. While others brush off those gut feelings, you trust them, knowing that this is God speaking to you, guiding you in a direction that's meant to shift not only your path, but the paths of those around you. This kind of awareness is disruptive. It shakes the foundation of things that have been accepted for so long, even though they were built on flawed or broken systems. When you begin to challenge these outdated beliefs or behaviors, it's not just uncomfortable, it's terrifying for those who are entrenched in these patterns. You aren't just breaking cycles, you're breaking the illusions that have kept them trapped, and that scares people. People who are used to dysfunction, who have built their lives around avoiding change, feel threatened by your presence. Your ability to see through the lies and the comfort zones they've clung to disrupts everything they thought was certain. As you navigate this path, those around you will start testing you. They'll challenge your thoughts, set up situations to make you doubt your intuition, and even try to manipulate you into questioning your instincts. But here's the truth. Every test, every trap, is a confirmation that your gift is divine protection in motion. Those manipulations only highlight that you're on the right path, one that's aligned with a higher purpose, beyond the grasp of those who try to keep you in the dark. Trust the whispers from within. Trust the guidance from above. You weren't sent to fit into the world's expectations. You were sent to break free from them and lead others to freedom, even if they don't realize it yet. The more they try to pull you back into the illusion, the stronger you become, and the closer you move to fulfilling your divine purpose. Your gift isn't just for you, it's for the transformation of everyone around you, even if they don't know it yet. Point 4. They want access to a gift they can't control. Let's be real, spiritual gifts are fascinating to people, especially when they can see the power behind them. Everyone's intrigued by someone who can sense energy, predict outcomes, or provide insight into things they can't see themselves. It feels like magic, right? But here's the catch. As long as they think they can access it when they want, they're all in. The moment they realize they can't own, control, or replicate your gift, things change. Suddenly, your spiritual insight becomes less about admiration and more about manipulation. People love spiritual gifts until they realize they don't work on command. They see the depth of your intuition or abilities and they start testing you, asking things like, what am I thinking right now? Or who's texting me next? At first it might seem like harmless curiosity, but let's be honest, there's more to it than that. It's not just about wondering or marveling at your gift, it's about control. They want to measure something that flows freely through you when spirit allows it, but they don't understand that you can't be controlled like a machine. You're not a tool for someone's amusement or a magic trick to show off. Think about it. Your gift is a part of who you are, a divine connection that guides you in ways others can't comprehend. You're not a vending machine where people can input questions and get answers instantly. You're a vessel a sacred one at that. The moment people start to see your spiritual gifts as something they can manipulate or use on demand, they forget the real purpose behind them. They forget that these gifts are meant to guide, uplift, and empower, not to entertain or be exploited. Protecting your gift is crucial. It's not just about keeping your boundaries intact. It's about respecting the sacredness of the connection you have with Spirit. It's easy to fall into the trap of pleasing others or using your abilities to prove something. But remember, your spiritual gifts aren't a show, they're not for sale, and anyone who treats them like a slot machine is missing the point entirely. Stay grounded in the purpose of your gifts, and remember, you are a divine vessel, not a tool for others' amusement. Keep your sacredness intact and never let anyone diminish the value of your soul. Point 5, you're a mirror they didn't ask for. Let's be real. Spiritual gifts are fascinating to people, especially when they can see the power behind them. Everyone's intrigued by someone who can sense energy, predict outcomes, or provide insight into things they can't see themselves. It feels like magic, right? But here's the catch. As long as they think they can access it when they want, they're all in. The moment they realize they can't own, control, or replicate your gift, things change. Suddenly, your spiritual insight becomes less about admiration and more about manipulation. People love spiritual gifts until they realize it doesn't work on command. They see the depth of your intuition or abilities, and they start testing you, asking things like, what am I thinking right now? Or who's texting me next? At first, it might seem like harmless curiosity, but let's be honest, there's more to it than that. It's not just about wondering or marveling at your gift, it's about control. They want to measure something that flows freely through you when Spirit allows it, but they don't understand that you can't be controlled like a machine. You're not a tool for someone's amusement or a magic trick to show off. Think about it. Your gift is a part of who you are, a divine connection that guides you in ways others can't comprehend. You're not a vending machine where people can input questions and get answers instantly. You're a vessel, a sacred one at that. The moment people start to see your spiritual gifts as something they can manipulate or use on demand, they forget the real purpose behind them. They forget that these gifts are meant to guide, uplift, and empower, not to entertain or be exploited. Protecting your gift is crucial. It's not just about keeping your boundaries intact. It's about respecting the sacredness of the connection you have with Spirit. It's easy to fall into the trap of pleasing others or using your abilities to prove something, but remember, your spiritual gifts aren't a show. They're not for sale. And anyone who treats them like a slot machine is missing the point entirely. Stay grounded in the purpose of your gifts, and remember, you are a divine vessel, not a tool for others' amusement. Keep your sacredness intact and never let anyone diminish the value of your soul. Point 6, your peace is proof. You're plugged into something higher. In a world that often values loudness and aggression, many confuse silence with weakness, as if your quiet presence is an invitation for others to dominate. But here's the truth, your peace is warfare. It's a battlefield where your mind remains sharp, your spirit remains unshaken, and your soul stays rooted in purpose. While others may feel the need to argue, clap back, or prove themselves, you understand something deeper. You know that real power doesn't require noise. Your intuition speaks in silence, often louder and clearer than words ever could. People will test your calm. They'll try to poke, prod, and bait you, as though they're waiting for a reaction, as if your silence is an invitation to stir the pot. Let's see if they'll react, they think. Let's see if they know this too. But here's the game-changing shift. You don't respond from a place of ego. Ego demands validation. It craves acknowledgement, and it feeds off of conflict. Instead, you move from a deeper, more aligned space, your spirit. Your responses, or lack thereof, are rooted in a place of inner knowing, not in the need to defend or protect your pride. This is where the magic happens. The moment you stop reacting out of ego, you tap into an entirely different kind of power, one that doesn't need to be seen or acknowledged by others. You remain centered, grounded, and above the chaos. Your silence reveals that you are tapped into something greater, something that requires no explanation or validation. It's the peaceful knowing that your worth doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It exists regardless of the noise around you. And while they fidget, shift uncomfortably, or try to engage you in their drama, you remain still. You're not running from the conflict. You're simply not participating in it. This isn't weakness, it's strength of character. It's knowing that true power lies in your ability to remain unshaken, even when the world around you is in turmoil. Let them lose their cool, let them react. You'll continue to stand in your peace. Point 7. You are living proof that the divine is real. In a world full of noise and skepticism, your intuition isn't just a skill or a feeling, it's spiritual evidence. It's a divine gift that speaks louder than logic or reason. Think about it. In every moment when you trust your gut, you're not simply following a hunch. You're tapping into a higher source, a connection to something far greater than yourself. Your discernment isn't random, it's a reflection of God's presence guiding you, often when others can't hear or see what's happening around them. It's like a spiritual radar, tuned to frequencies beyond the ordinary. What makes this particularly profound is the reaction it can evoke in others. For many, especially those not yet open to the divine, the truth you embody through your intuition is terrifying. The idea that God speaks through you, whether they acknowledge it or not, challenges their comfortable reality. It forces them to confront the possibility that there's something beyond the visible, something far beyond the limits of their disbelief. This can make them uncomfortable, and in that discomfort they may test your intuition, trying to disprove it or make you doubt it, hoping that their lack of faith will somehow weaken your clarity. But here's the powerful part. Every time your intuition proves to be right, every time your instincts align with truth, you become a walking testimony to something greater. You embody the divine's message without uttering a single word, and in doing so you serve as living proof that there is a higher purpose, a divine plan at work in this world. You are a beacon of spiritual truth, even if you never explicitly speak about it. So the next time someone doubts you or questions your inner knowing, don't shrink back. Don't play small to make them feel comfortable in their disbelief. You weren't created to fit into their narrow understanding of reality. You were designed to reveal divine truths that challenge and awaken, to stand firm in your spiritual certainty. Let your life be the sermon, the message, and the proof. Your intuition is not just your gift, it's evidence of something much bigger. Let it speak for itself. Divine ones, let them test you, let them try, let them stare, poke, prod, and whisper. Because the truth is, they're not testing you, they're testing God through you, and every time they try, they lose. Your intuition is not up for debate. It's not a game, it's your anointing, so protect it, trust it, and most importantly, honor it. You're not paranoid, you're prophetic, you're not crazy, you're called, and you're not just intuitive, you're chosen. Stay awake, stay aligned, and keep walking in your divine light. They've been freaking out ever since they saw it's real, but now they can't unsee it, they can't unfeel it, and they definitely can't stop it. That's the power of a chosen one. Watch your steps, divines, because your path is sacred. Until next time, stay woke on your spiritual journey.